Hi everybody, welcome to CastorsCorner.com, toy of the day here on our live YouTube channel. This is second attempt. We had issues with our first video. Hopefully I can talk about everything I talked about and don't forget anything. Thank you guys for joining us. You can go to CastorsCorner.com for a full gallery of these things. I hesitate to call them a toy of the day because technically they're not a toy, but they are a object of the day that we are reviewing. So I'm sorry I keep looking and kind of pausing because I want to make sure the video is not freezing this time. You can follow us. We are at Kastor Corner on all social media. You can check out the Cornercast podcast this week with our friend Benjamin David from Above and Batman Beyond, and also the DC Collected Cast, which we've been a guest on both of those a few times already. So really happy to be part of his channel as well. So what do we got today? So we talked a little bit last night when we talked about the Spider-Man statue, which is camera's backwards for me. So there we go. So Spider-Man's back there. We talked about him yesterday. Today we're talking about the mask and helmets from Eaglemoss Hero Collection, right? Hero Collector, Hero Collector from Eaglemoss. Again, these come to us from our friends at Collection Obsession. You can check them out on Instagram, Collection Obsession Official. They were nice enough to send these over after we did some secret shopper / focus group for them and help them with some of their promotions. So happy to have these. And actually, there's nothing in the box because I already took them out and set them up. So we're going to take a look at the Iron Man Mark VII helmet as well as the Black Panther mask tonight. It is difficult as a collector to sometimes go for these things because as an action figure collector, I want stuff that's dynamic that you can pose. And I don't like a cluttered space. You wouldn't know by looking at the floor around me, but as far as my collectibles go, I like to give them a little bit of room, a little bit of space. And with the space I have behind me, that's a little more difficult. You can see of my 20 Nightwing statues, only 2 of them are actually on display. The other one is a Robin, and the other one's a custom action figure. So I would love to put more of them out, but if I group them too much for me aesthetically, it just doesn't look right to just crowd them. And so even though I've got Spider-Man and Snake Eyes there, Spider-Man might have to find a new home somewhere else in the display, somewhere else, because I definitely want him out. Or Snake Eyes might have to move. So it's hard to rationalize that. The other thing is these retail for about $40 each. And that's not a lot. I'm not complaining. I think for what they are, it is a reasonable amount of money. But for me to say I'm going to buy something for display, because these are definitely display purchases, it is harder for me to rationalize that because I'm not going to be able to use them for dynamic photographs. I'm not going to be able to use them later for dynamic photographs with maybe something that comes later that might match up to them. So it's harder for me to bite that bullet. Thankfully, Collection Obsession and Eaglemoss here sent these over, and it helped me make the decision. Now, thanks to some of our local friends, Collection Obsessions asked me to give some of these away. And so I reached out to some collectors and asked them to check the local Walmarts in the area. And those of you that did will be receiving one of these. They're already spoken for. Iron Man is going to a good home. Chris, you'll be getting it soon because I told you once I was done, it is all yours. But Chris is going to take home this wonderful piece here. So this is the Mark VII armor. It tells you, the base tells you what movie it's from. So this is from the first Avengers movie, his final helmet at the end of the film. Like Spider-Man, with collectibles like this, they are meticulously painted and colored, and sometimes some of the bleed goes through, and there's a couple spots on here that has a little bit of paint bleed. You can see it. Well, you can't really see it that well. You might see it on the photos. But from the naked eye, you can't. The base is separate It comes with a metal rod that you insert. I recommend putting it into the helmet first because it is much easier to see and make sure it goes into the right spot. And then goes nicely into the base. Because this is a metal rod and it is made for this, some of the paint inside of there chips off, but nothing on the base or the helmet that you can see chips. So don't be concerned with that. You can there's a little bit of powder on the end there. Goes in really nicely. Sits on your desk. Nice little bust. There's some weight to it. This thing has some heft to it. It is definitely one of the heavier pieces from this collection. And I think it's gorgeous. The eyes are really bright. It almost looks like they're lit in person. It's a really cool piece. Now the other one I am keeping 100%. I'm not giving this one up. This one comes from not Civil War. The black bases pick up every speck of dust. This one does not come from Civil War. It actually comes from the Black Panther film. So it's got the film logo right on there. And this one is just like a gorgeous piece of artwork. Like from top to bottom. This is definitely more of a mask. It looks, I mean, they call the Iron Man one a bust. I think this fits the aesthetic of a bust because it goes down below the neck. Kind of drapes down, gives a little more depth to it. It is absolutely stunning. The silver lines on the matte black, I'm sure it's going to collect dust like crazy, but the black matte just really accentuates all the little detailing, and each piece of the mask, from the nose to the chin, to the ears, to the back. I'll put the base down. Base has some heft to it too. You can see all the little details, all the little different textures, line, hatch marks, the writing, top to bottom. This has to be one of the most stunning pieces I own. And I knew when I got it that this was going to be the one that I was keeping. It might end up in front of me, to be honest with you, so that I can take a look at it most days. But we'll see. Might take up space next to Snake Eyes back there. So there you go. There are the first two that we're going to take a look at. We're going to look at the other three, which are, you can see them kind of hiding over here, waiting for their opportunity and new homes. But yeah, Collection Obsession Official on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for sending these over. I really just, they're just stunning. I don't know how to say it. And it's hard because it's not talking about them in terms of how do they pose, how do they fit, how do they scale with other things. I think they're pretty well scaled with each other as far as the masks go. It's a really different animal when you're talking about collecting these display pieces, because at the end of the day, this is what they are. They're not your typical action figure thing. So it's a little bit harder to talk about because there's not a dynamic piece to them. It's the detailing, it's the paint work, it's the sculpt work. And I would say if you could only get one of these two, Black Panther is the one to get. Iron Man's great, and if your favorite character is Iron Man, definitely recommend it. But as far as which one stands out the most and which one looks the most like a piece of art, the Black Panther one, really. You just can't go wrong with it. So you can check out a gallery of these, full turnarounds of these, on castorscorner.com. You can head over to Collection Obsession Official on Instagram to check out what's coming next for June. I believe their new promotion is going to be something to do with Space Jam. So they're going to be posting more of that stuff. And you can follow us. We are at Kastor's Corner on all social media. You can also check out the Korner Cast podcast this week with Benjamin David from Above and Batman Beyond, and the DC Collecticast that we've been part of a few times already. And remember to hit the subscribe button somewhere at the bottom of the screen here. Because at the end of the day, the more of you that support us, and the more of you that join us, the more cool things we get to do, and then we get to share them with you. And honestly, it's the best part of the journey. And as we round our way to day 182, which is our halfway mark, we've got something new in store, something a little bit different, that we're really excited about. So thank you, DJ at mureview.net, for the idea. And I can't wait to tell you guys what it is. It's a little bit different, a little bit of the same, a little bit different, but I'm really excited about doing it here on Toy of the Day every day. So thank you for joining us here on CastorsCorner.com, and we'll see you tomorrow for another Toy of the Day.